Hey, this is Popster here once again. In today's video, we wield the legendary Mjolner. And if you have ever wondered what it would feel like to play as a lean, skinny Thor in Path of Exile, wonder no more. As you can see, we don't kill our enemies in one fell swoop, or 2 small sweeps, or 3 clean cleaves, or 4, you get the idea. We also don't shout things like skapalableho and kapai, because we take our time picking our enemies apart with carefully placed blows from the shadows. So instead, every time we jab our nemesis, we whisper things like shapahi and shwaha. Even though to the untrained eye, it appears I am mindlessly cycling in around, I assure you, I am not. With every spin, I am precisely calculating, doing maths in my head, and accurately picking where each and every blow will land for the maximum amount of poison damage to be delivered to our prey. I see an exposed ankle, I'm going for it. A deltoid that's missing a shoulder pad, I see it. A naked tibia? Do you even have to ask? Oh, somebody forgot to wear gloves. I see your bare pinky, and I'm ready to strike. A bare clavicle? Someone went to the wrong blacksmith, cause you got scammed. But while our enemy thinks of how they overpaid for an inferior armor plate, they are unaware of the poison taking hold of them. So, after about 35 hits, they collapse, not knowing what happened. And that is what this build is all about, taking our time with each and every adversary we encounter. Being an assassin, we had to go for evasion wherever we could and use the grace aura so we could sneak around like monkeys. We evade our enemies while dancing the poison dance of death on and around our foes. We sprinkle in a bit of spell suppression in case we can't evade the spells being thrown at us. Of course I jape! I know we can't naturally dodge spells, but we are role-playing after all. So, in my mind, we sometimes do, in fact, dodge spells.
Hey, Papa Z, did you forget about the acrobatics node?
Yeah, we don't use that node. Now, before I go over the gearing choices, I wanted to say that I am always on the lookout for something new, interesting, and different, and that's how this build came about. If you have any suggestions, let me know in the comments below. Initially, I was building around Hidden Blade Dagger to trigger cast on crit spell, linked to the dagger to then trigger Mjolner, but unfortunately the POB numbers weren't there, and I had like no defenses. So, I did kind of put it together very quickly, and I do show a short clip at the end so you can kind of see what I was going for, but you know, it is what it is. For clearing, it actually wasn't half bad, but I wanted to actually kill a few bosses here and there, so I went the defensive route, holding a shield instead. So, that being said, I ended up grabbing a cool max chaos res shield I bought like a month ago and built my defenses around it, which also made me find a super cool glorious vanity jewel that has a ton of sin energy with this build. So here we go. First of all, can we take a look at my mana for just a second? 0. Nice. Mjolner, global damage and a bit of accuracy. Helm, I'm using Eldritch Battery notable, so I need energy shield wherever possible. I also wanted some physical damage taken as elemental damage, which will make sense in a second. Pretty stellar shield that I bought as is long time ago. It has a fantastic passive skill tree as well. Yeah. Reasonable armor with physical damage taken as elemental. The one and only Ugul's Harmony. A meh ring with resin accuracy. Another meh ring with resin stats. Volkuur's gloves enabling the lightning damage to poison, of course. Very important. I mean, it's basically what this build revolves around. Pretty cool belt I found myself, and boots with more elemental avoidance so we can reach 100%. Corralitos flask for damage, and the rest of the flasks are for defenses. Here's the super cool glorious vanity jewel. It offers a bit of lightning damage and wither application. Also a bit of physical damage reduction. I also took the Divine Flesh notable, and with the shield, I have 88 chaos resistances. I also have about 46 fizz damage taken as Ellie, and about 25k evasion armor with the flasks up, so not too shabby. Last thing I'm going to mention is that if you're missing explosions in your life and you want to try this build, there's always unspeakable gifts. cluster notable, or Oriath's and Bismuth flask. Those are just a couple ways to get that problem solved. Alright, here's the short snippet of me equipping the hidden blade and putting GMP, COC, and Spark in it. I didn't change anything about my tree or anything, but if I was to make this into a real build, I would also use Nimbus and Vengeful Cascade Anointment along with taking Piers on the tree. Maybe there's something there, and maybe I'll revisit this in the future, but for me and my budget, I was stretched thin already trying to get stats for Mjolner, while also getting some spell suppression, resistances, 88 chaos resistances, enough energy shield to use EB, elemental avoidance, accuracy, critical strike chance, poison chance, and evasion. Yeah, a lot of things went into this build. Oh yeah, and here's the leveling clip. Took me a bit over 4 hours to clear campaign, playing poison basically as soon as I could equip the cast while channeling gem and Volkuur's gloves. Up until level 43, yup, you know it, Armageddon brand all the way. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time with another beautiful build.